Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy SSG Lil in the building, and I'm back with another reaction video. We're on to the next week's weekly rap reactions, and for the week I'm covering, we have a rap from Daddyphatsnaps. This is the Sung Jin Woo Rap, Arise by Daddyphatsnaps. He is literally on this beat solo, no pun intended. I know the show is called Solo Leveling, but yeah, DPS once again by himself. Like I said, by himself with features, always going to be a banger. The thing that I did notice is that there are two producers this time. Besides just DPS himself, he also has Zeppelin beats. He probably made his nice own creative touches. Probably did a little collab, and they're probably going to make this one an absolute banger. And yeah, I don't know much about Solo Leveling. I did react to one in the past called Limitless by Dizzy 8, but apart from that, I don't really know much about the character, so I won't really get too many references besides any little, probably obvious hints that they throw here and there. And yeah, I can't wait to hear DPS's take on Sung Jin Woo with this rap. And you already know, before we get into it, to avoid a copyright strike, I am not associated with Solo Leveling. I support the official release and the creators of the official release. Go support the official release for yourselves. And let's get right into the show. Sung Jin Woo Rap, Arise.
Never thought I'd be the one, now there's only one this I was in the club and you roll up and it's on Everybody think they want it, but you bet it on you. I'ma make you go. No one better than. You worry about the green, ain't you? You worry about it, you're perceived on the screen, ain't you? You worry about it, people speak cause you need fame. While you're worrying, I'm leaping in the league breaking. The moniker you gave me wasn't even creative. The power level never dipping, I am elated. Among the best, I am a beast, ain't no debating. You demons living by a creed, get you cremated. Aw shit, I'm a living maverick. Don chick, never had a smooth ride. All grit, when I hear a cold beat, it's all set. When you hear the new vibe, it's all set. Came up from an E rank, bullshit. You ain't on the same time, small wrist. You ain't in the same league, nah bitch. You ain't paid the same price, all in. I can pull digits, they all on my sack. You bitches get mad cause I all what you lack. But I wanted digits that harness the stamp. So when I pull the strap, leave no armor intact. My inventory, that's a different story. Best of 5-3-0 and give him 40. You put foot to floor and I was getting torrid. I ain't gotta move a spot to get it for me, I'm a beast. Never thought I'd be the one, now there's only one this I was in the club and you roll up and it's on Everybody think they want it, but you bet it on you. I'ma make you go. No one better than. Everybody want it, everybody simping. They ain't want me then, but now they see I'm different. That's why I don't give a fuck about these bitches. All they talk is money, clout, and all the women. All I want is power, that's what makes us different. If you get the power, then you get it clouded. Then you get the money, then you get the bitches. Solo dolo, level up, I'm feeling vicious. Me and my homies, we slate, only brain that we care about level these grades. And we down in the trenches, we paving these lanes. So you taking the credit for bricks that we lay? Top of the ranking, I'm top of the league. When the top is in trouble, they copying me. Got control with the beast, cause I monster the ink. I can summon a demon, a rocket to sleep. I can do it all, do a little bit of this. I can pin a bitch, stays, got me feeling like a Smith. Man, I did range hits, got me feeling like a Smith. Make your hair whip, got you feeling like a Smith. Bring us up a dime when the dawns and you call, cause myself. When the dimes hit the wall, when they all. When the boss wanna brawl, but if I, then they all wanna talk.
Teach a man how to squabble.
Never take a break, it's the burden that you have when you always have to say. Put the squad on my back and I put them on the way. Everybody on my heels, but I'm never changing gait. I just wanna see the gates, I just wanna see the gates. I just wanna live my life and be proud on the way. When I die, I can know I gave it everything I gave. And I pray for the ones who would stand in the way. I would die for this. What the fuck you saying, bro? Cause I keep putting in the work and see you laying up. And all I hear is that your job, it doesn't pay enough. I'm never looking down, so all this pussy shit can't play it up. I've been the boss even when I wasn't saying nothing. They get a little validation and they play the trumpets. And all it takes is me to drop a little something and their heads get to bumping. and it's clear as day who truly run this. Feel I've been climbing now forever, I ain't hit the summit. They say it's lonely at the top, but I ain't hearing nothing. Feel unrelatable, there's truly few who really done it. You won't know the type of man you are until you feel the slug hit. I've been a shooter even when I wasn't getting buckets. They really hate it and I can see the twisted face, I love it. And I'm just living out the dreams, they ain't having stomachs, steady sitting at the top. And bitch, well I ain't never budging, I love it, I love it.
Alright, y'all. That was the Sung Jin Woo Rap Arise by Daddyphatsnaps. I like that. I kinda like the style that they had. Like my, never thought I'd be the one. Now there's only one. This type. I'm like, okay. Like, wanna be up. Now they roll up and it's on sight. I wanna be the one, but would you put it on your life? Life. I got a voice crack, y'all. Life. I make it go night. No one better than. And I love that all his verses talking about, like, you talking about the green and talking about how they perceive you on the screen. I'm like, okay. And definitely talk about rising up from E rank. I assume that's probably a lower rank in his world, and he probably rose to the top, grew stronger. You know, seemed like he values strength. And he talk about, I'm a living Maverick, Doncic. I'm like, hey, Luka Doncic on the Dallas Mavericks, the best player on the team right now. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm an NBA fan. I'm obviously going to get that. He talking about that, like, and I'm like, okay. And he talk about when he get a cold beat, like Sauce it. Then you get the new vibe, Sauce it. I'm like, oh. I'm like, all right. Like, I just love every verse, every little bar. Especially when he goes into the next one. Because he definitely takes it, and like everybody wanted, and definitely talking about like all they talk is about all they talk about money, all they talk about be worth, all they talk about clout, like me, like strength, like me, like power is everything. With power comes the clout, come the money, power comes the B words. I'm like, it's like everyone else worried about all this. Like, little did you know the strength, the power comes with this. And talk about letting you get torried. I'm like, probably a reference to character, maybe the artist. Who knows, bro? And I kind of like the beat switch when he went to the final act. Like, the boom. I'm like, ooh, he's been doing a lot of the transition beat switches. And talk about like he just want to see the gates. And he talk about he just want to make sure that he gave everything he gave. I'm like, okay, talking about he a leader even when he not talking. I'm like, all right. Talk about now my power, and he talk about his power and all that, and it keep rising. I'm like, ooh. So I'm guessing this person broke their limits, and it's talking about like when the top ones called it, like they look at me like I put monster. Like, put a monster to the ink. It's like, I can summon a demon, rock him to sleep. I'm like, oh, come on. And talk about a Smith. Talk about getting a whip. And now you whip like a Smith. I'm like, oh. Talk about pin back. And it's like on the stage, Smith. Like a Smith. I'm like, Will Smith. You already know the slap references. You already know. And he basically talking about, like, they talk about the top is lonely, but I don't hear nothing. And he talked about at the top, he had to see the twisted face. I love it. Talking about like I said, I'm a shooter. I ain't getting buckets. I'm like, or he ain't a shooter. He's still getting buckets. Either one of those. I'm like, okay. And he talk about like I'm at the top, and they say it's lonely at the top. I ain't budging. I love it. This person was probably like so weak that once he got a taste, talking about he top of the league, top of the ranking and all that throughout the entire rap, it was kind of like once he got a taste of this power being one of the lowest in his world to being one of the strongest. And talk about when the Dons call, now they want to hear a ring. Like when they want to brawl, I'm like, okay. I'm loving all of it, y'all. Like I said, I won't be able to catch all the references because I'm just not into solo leveling yet. I'll probably give it a try to watch. But great job to DPS for performing amazing on this track. Great job to Zeppelin Beats. He definitely added some of his own flavor to DPS's rap, and it definitely made it amazing. So great job to y'all, man. Definitely a amazing banger. Great job, y'all. The next video will either be the next weekly rap reaction or the next random video, which is the Yuji Itadori rap song, I Don't Want to Be Alone by Dizzy8 featuring Mix Williams. So yeah, be prepared for one of those two options in the next video. This is the end of the video, y'all. Like and subscribe if you do happen to like my content. I appreciate any support that again. It's SSG Lil, y'all. I'm out. Peace.